Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I'm going to show you how I do my annual reading spread. This is the, I don't know how many people are following me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, but I have been sort of, promoting this annual reading that I offer, very much so, especially during December, January. I tend to do that because most people want to plan their new year and they want to sit down and they want to do a bunch of stuff. I myself do a bunch of workbooks and get clear on what I want to achieve. Again, it's a totally different story whether I actually do most of the stuff, but hey, it's a practice. And even if I may not do all the 10 things that I've decided to do, I end up doing maybe two, three, four. It's a steady growth process, right? We are all human. Anyhow, the point is, this annual reading is sort of designed or created so that you can get an idea of what the energies are going to be like for each of the month of the next year. And a bunch of people were like, how do you do the spread, how do you do the spread? So I'm just going to quickly show you how I do it. It takes a lot. As you can see, there are four different decks here, so there's a lot of shuffling involved, a lot of mixing involved. So that's the entire bulk of the prep that is required for this particular spread. So what I do is I pull two cards from the tarot, because I ask my the people who are ordering the reading, I ask them to choose two different focus areas. So it could be work, it could be love life, it could be spiritual growth, it could be whatever whatever you want, or it could be health even. And again, with where it concerns health or legal matters and stuff like that, it comes with a fair bit of a kind of a warning or a disclaimer that it's not necessarily going to be like, I'm not going to give you a medical diagnosis. I will just see what the cards are saying, and in terms of health, in that perspective, in that context, and I will tell you that. So it's not a medical diagnosis by any means, so don't take it as such. But if, let's say, there's a bit of a warning that, oh, you might fall ill, or you might get sick, or you need to so something like that, then yes, it makes sense to obviously go see a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so coming back to this, I choose two cards from the tarot, focusing on both each of one for each sort of focus area. So this is for each month. So two cards for each month come from the tarot. Then I pull three cards for each month from the Lenormand. So I basically end up using the entire deck, because this one has 36 cards. So 12 threes are 36. So I end up using all the cards from the Lenormand deck. And essentially, this is the general outlook. This is the overall general picture. So you don't have to specifically say, oh, just give me a general outlook, because this is happening already from the Lenormand. You can easily then choose two other areas to focus on. So that's the beauty of this spread. Now I also have these two oracle decks, which I have come to love. This is the Sacred Symbols Oracle, and this basically just has a lot of big cards with symbols on them, right? And each symbol has meanings and stuff. And I use this deck to talk about the theme, lesson, and guidance. And so I use this one as well nowadays. I've added these two together. This is the Inner Landscape Oracle, and this also has similar sort of thing, but this is more like inner landscape. That is more like just a symbol. This is more like all sorts of stuff. It's a very interesting oracle deck. I like it. I like the whole symbolism of it. So anyhow, what I do is I pull one card from both these decks, for one for the with theme, lesson, guidance. So what happens is, you get the picture of the general outlook and the two focus areas for each month. And then right in the center of that spread is the theme of the year, right? The lesson that you're supposed to kind of learn and understand during the year. And the guidance cards tell you how best to go about, getting that lesson or understanding the theme and, dealing with all the stuff that's going to happen during the year. So that's the overall sort of, focus and overview. So now I'm going to go shuffle all these decks and pull the cards, because after the shuffling, it's the card drawing that takes a lot of time as well, because as you know, I will meditate on the client. I will meditate on the energy of the client. For that, I usually use the date of birth and his or her current sort of location where they live. So I meditate on that energy, and then I pull the cards for them. Okay, so I will be right back once I have done all of that, so I can give you an overview of how the spread is laid out and how I go about reading it. Okay, so be right back. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, your tarot blogger, deck and book reviewer, and maker of these awesome videos on YouTube. I'm also a tarot card reader and mentor, and an author of this awesome book on tarot, which is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle, all over the world. Now, all of these links and more are in the description, so do check that out. And at the end of this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more such awesome tarot videos. Okay, so this is gonna be maybe a little shaky, so I hope you guys don't mind, because from my stand, it was not easy to get a bird's eye view of this entire spread. So here's how this spread looks like, and if you want to actually see how it looks like, I do put up the picture in the ad. I will put that up in here as well. So just to give you an overview, this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Then we have theme, lesson, and guidance. And if you see those two cards over there in the corner, I call them the sky cards. So what's happened is, after I pulled all the cards for the spread, I look at the cards at the bottom and the top of the deck, and those are the cards that come over here. So again, I'm going to stop the recording and come right back and maybe interpret a couple of months to show you how this works out. All right, I've managed to twist my camera stand in a very weird angle so that you can see this is January. But before I get into the interpretation of it all, I start with the two cards in the corner, which are the sky cards. So these tell me a little bit about the environment that will essentially surround this time cycle or period, the environment for my client, right? So the Hermit and the Magician. So again, what is the difference between this environment sort of cards and the theme, lesson, and guidance? So the theme talks about the central running thread, right, that will sort of encompass the entire time period that we are looking at, the 12-month cycle. And the theme is the underlying sort of thread, which we will discover at the end of the reading, and we will try to connect all the dots, right? This environment talks about the big picture sort of energy that envelopes this time period. So you see, there is a little bit of a difference, and these two do intermingle or connect, or they do add value to each other in the reading, but they are different. Got it? Okay, so now in this situation, we have the Magician and the Hermit as the environment, and this tells me that first and foremost, the client will be very much drawn in two different extremes. Why? Because the Hermit is all about seclusion. The Hermit is all about solitude and contemplation. And on the other hand, the magician is all about being out there, being, the person in charge, being the leader, the person who sells, really, the salesperson, the marketing guy, right? And the hermit is generally not kind of, conducive to that sort of energy. He's more like, you come to me, I will advise you, I will guide you to whatever you seek. But this guy is more like, let me tell you how to do whatever it is that you want to do. So between these two energies somewhere, so the my client is going to be sort of going back and forth between these two energies. Also, what I see is with this hermit card, because he is willing, look at this, his light is shining on this magician here, is that's how I see it, right? He's willing to share his knowledge, he's willing to give all that he knows to all the people who are coming to seek that knowledge from him. And then this guy is out there, this aspect of his personality is out there, sort of saying, okay, all right, here's what I got, and here's what I'm making it happen. And between the two of them, using the genuine knowledge that this hermit energy is having, they are, this my client is going to go out there and make things happen. So he's actually going to use all his accumulated knowledge to his own benefit. So that is the energy there. So he's going to be going and back and forth. So there's going to be periods where he's going to be all cooped up, trying to figure things out, make sense of everything and all of that, and then go out there, try it out, go out there, be the person who makes everything, happen, manifests everything. Then take all the lessons, go back into the seclusion, try to make sense of it. So there's a lot of learning and doing energy here in the environment. So that is interestingly there. Okay, now just so, because we talked about the theme, I'm going to open the theme cards before. I've never done that sort of thing. Normally what I do is I open the theme lesson guidance at the end, but let's see what the theme cards are talking about over here. Okay, so we can kind of make sense of it. See, void. This is a very interesting card. Normally when I get the cards from here, I look it up in the book, because it's tough to remember everything, and so I may miss something. So I'm looking at the book, the little booklet that comes with this deck. Void. There you go. See? Inspired by the nothing in the never-ending story. This is interesting. Void. Step into the unknown. All may not be revealed at this time. Trust in unseen forces. Meditate on this to let go of all attachments or possibilities, to free yourself from your dharma and increase your trust in the guides and the universe. So basically, this card is saying anything is possible. Everything, it's not, there's right now at this point, there's nothing. And you can make whatever you want out of this nothing. Or you can let this nothing consume you. So, the two extremes. Right? And so, it's full of possibilities. It's full of everything. What are you going to do with this, right? And this card is paired with the comet card here. So into this void comes the comet, right? The comet is this blazing sort of, moment of clarity, of joy, and it's a path breaking sort of thing, because comets don't get into planets, right? They keep circling around the sun, just like they were a planet, but it's just that they have this blazing beautiful tail. I'm not going to get into the science of it, but comets are not planets, right? But comets blaze a trail. And many a times when comets appear in the sky, people associate them with good or bad omens. So, again, possibilities are endless. You can see a good omen, you can see a bad omen, you can see a blazing, trailblazing sort of a moment here. So, possibilities being endless, you can do whatever you want. You can shine like that comet in the sky and make things happen. Become a good omen for whatever it is that you are trying to achieve and accomplish in this year. So Combine that with that energy of the magician and the hermit and everything, and you get to see there's a lot of this energy sort of coming together. The solitude, the quietude, the withdrawal of the void, and the trailblazing energy of the magician there. So, which is again very, very interesting. As I said, the threads are often, there. So, this is the energy, this is the overall sort of the environment over there, and this is the uh, theme of the year. So, now, see how that connects, right? Now, let me show you a couple of interpretations how I do it. Let me see. This is the month of January. So, let's look at January. So I've taken two focus areas for the client that I'm looking at. He has asked for two focus areas. One is work and career, and the second is relationships and romance. So here we go. First card is work and career, which is Emperor in the reverse. So January starts with a very relaxed and very casual sort of an attitude towards work, right? There is the desire is there for hard work, for discipline, for getting things done. But at this point in January, things are, slow to start. Things are very, very casual. Again, it could also indicate, because the emperor is also the energy of the boss, it could indicate that whoever is in charge is also kind of in that frame of mind, right? So things may not necessarily get completely done. There might be, the energy, as I said, casual, taking things easy. With that energy, not all things will get done, but somewhere you'll get somewhere. But it is a start, I would say. It's not like you throw yourself into it, and it's not like those blazing moments of the New Year's resolution where within the first week everything is sort of pushed aside. No, you're slowly starting. So that's a good way to look at it. Now, in terms of romance and relationships, you have the Fool card, again another major arcana card. So it's a very fortunate beginning. Fool can indicate that in terms of relationships, in terms of romance, you might just jump right into it. You might start casually dating. If you aren't in a relationship, you might just start dating. If you are in a relationship, it might begin a new phase in your relationship, right? Now, my client has recently broken up, so that I'm just saying that the two interpretations that I told right now were, for people who are trying to make sense of this. But the situation with my client is that he's recently just gone through a breakup. So the Fool doesn't necessarily indicate that you will begin a new relationship right off the bat, but it can definitely say that you'll start dating, you'll start looking, you'll embrace the unknown. You'll be like, okay, you know what, I'm open to the idea even. And or if someone if you like someone along the way, you'll be like, yeah, sure, why not, let's see, let's start. All right. Or I'm also getting the very distinct energy, because the Fool is kind of on his own, sort of launching on his own adventure. You might even spend some time by yourself doing your own thing and enjoying your own company, very much there. Okay, so now let's see the energy of the month, the general outlook. We have Whip, we have Heart, and we have Tree. So Whip is an angry back and forth. Heart is something that gives you joy, love, and some things that you desire, that sort of thing. And Tree is family. Tree is also health. So if you read that line, there's an angry back and forth. You might enjoy it, or it might be with someone you care for, who is from your family, or it could be related to your health. So it could be with your doctor even. So there are two different interpretations that or I would say one variation on one interpretation, and then the second one. The first interpretation is there's going to be an angry back and forth with someone you love, and that will actually create some lasting foundation for a good relationship. Another variation is that this is an angry back and forth. You'll actually enjoy this angry back and forth with someone who is part of your family, or could be your doctor. And then there is an angry back and forth, and this could be related to the health of your heart actually. So take a look at it, check it out. Okay, like I said earlier, any indications about health related stuff, just it's always better to check with a doctor, because I'm not a doctor, right? But if I see the energies, then that's all I'm going to tell you, right? And since this is the general outlook, it kind of covers a broader sort of span. So so this can be that you might have to take a look at it if you are suffering from something related to that. Okay. Okay, so that was January, and I know I should move to February, but it's kind of out of the frame, so I'm gonna go to December here. So I'm just gonna interpret 2 months so you see how it looks like. Okay, so let's look at December. Work in relationships, you get Knight of Swords reverse. So it's gonna be hectic, hectic, hectic in the month of December. Okay, it's gonna start getting, you're gonna get crazy. You're not gonna have time. And it could be again with the air signs, it's all about emails, it's all about communication, it's all about talking, it's all about even dissent and argument and all of that. So you're going to be really, really trying to be the problem solver and not really being able to make a complete go of it. You're probably just going to stop short of making a complete mess of it. So I would suggest at this point that you just take things easy. Don't try to fix everything, because you can't. So only try to fix the things, take baby steps. That's all. Focus on what you're supposed to do, and the crazy people around you, they need to calm down, but you're not probably the one person that can calm them down. So you need to pace yourself here. Okay, don't be in a rush to fix everything. You probably can't. Maybe just leave it to the month after, which is January 2021, right? In terms of relationships, it's interesting. Love and romance and relationships, you have the Four of Pentacles. So it's time to hold on to what you've got. It's time to see what you've got. It's time to maybe find peace or make peace with all you've got. It's time to sort of sit down and take stock of what you've got. Okay. So are you being too clingy? That is one aspect that you might have to think about. Okay. Are you holding on to something or someone that does not want to be sort of, held on to? All right. So try to look at all those aspects within yourself. Or are you holding back? Are you withholding? Right? It's all about these energies, that Four of Pentacles. Right? What is it that you're withholding? Are you withholding affection? Are you withholding your, sharing your happiness and joy and success with the other person? What is it that you are holding back or withholding from this person? So it, both sides of the coin, or it could be a mix and match of all of these, right? So pay attention, talk to yourself and talk to your partner. Try to figure it out, right? And the general outlook here is Book, Scythe, and Cross. Wow. Okay, so December is going to be one heavy month, right? Overall, Book is all about wisdom, information, secrets, and that sort of thing. But Scythe cuts it out. And this makes it, the Cross is all about burdens. So the moment you start foregoing or letting go of your wisdom, the moment you ignore it, the moment you cut off the source of knowledge and wisdom in your life, you're going to create burdens for yourself. If you're not going to rely on your knowledge, right, you're going to create burdens for yourself. If you're not going to rely on your wisdom, you're going to create burdens on yourself. And by cutting off this wisdom, this knowledge, you are creating a you're putting yourself in a difficult position here. So see how you can not do that. Is it possible to not do that? Is it possible to really, really pay attention to your wisdom, to your knowledge, and not cut it off, and listen to your intuition for once? Listen to what your brain is telling you for once. Okay. All right. So you get a picture. See, the idea of this beautiful reading, or this kind of a beautiful reading, is to get a fair idea, or to get an idea of what the energies are going to be like for that particular month. And here's what I tell all my clients when I give, when I'm doing this reading or when I'm recording it for them, is I tell them to, of course, ideally, I'm hoping that you're going to listen to the reading, right off the bat, the whole entire thing. I tell them to make sure you mark the timestamps for each month, right? And then I tell them that every month, listen for the month that, at the end of every month, listen for the month that's just gone by, so you can reconcile and match what the reading said and what actually happened. And then listen for the next month and maybe the next 2 months, if possible, or 3 months even. So that way you get an idea of what to expect and to emotionally prepare yourself. Because if something like this, which is an undesirable situation, undesirable energy, really, you don't want to cut your wisdom off and create a burden, right, on yourself and all of this. How can you prevent that mentally, emotionally? If you're aware that this is going to happen and it is a situation that you genuinely don't want to create in your life, then you will need to be kind of mentally ready or prepared, or psyching yourself up in a certain way beforehand. So let's say my client hears this December reading in October, right? So from October, he's psyching himself up. And maybe at this point, he then, he comes across this energy, because this energy is going to happen, right? But then he faces it. And then the meaning turns, because this one is also faith. So with his belief, right, he's able to overcome his sort of desire to cut off his source of knowledge and wisdom, right? So this is what I'm saying, that you can change it, and a reading like this can help you, or you can tackle it, or you can handle it better. So like when a situation like this comes, he can handle it better. Okay, so here, this is the overall sort of way that I go about interpreting this sort of particular reading. And so what I do is, of course, as I keep reading it, I'm making an audio recording, and then I take a picture of this full entire spread. I put it all together in a folder, and I'll give you a download link, right? Now here's the thing. Also, I would like to add, yes, it's a great idea to do this reading December and January, because you're preparing for the new year and all of that, and you're embarking upon a new journey, so to speak. But some of us are not wired with the calendar, and that's perfectly okay. So you might just want to do this reading in the middle of March, or you might just want to do this reading in the beginning of May, whatever, or September. I have a bunch of people who come in September, so that's fine too. That's absolutely fine. What I do then is, depending, like if you've ordered, say, before the 15th of the month, then I will start with that month. If you've ordered, after the 15th of the month, then I will start from the next month. And that month goes here. And, we complete the cycle. We complete that 12-month period. So let's say you've ordered 5th of May. So we'll start from May and go all the way around and come back to sort of April of the following year. And so you get 12 months. Okay, so that's how you get all the 12 months, and you get the theme lesson guidance and everything for that whole 12-month cycle. Okay, so that's how this reading works. And of course, I will put the full spread picture and everything up, out there, or I'll put it up on screen right now, so you can take a look at it. You can pause the video and sort of, check out the spread, or you can see it on my social media, on my Instagram and Facebook and all those places. You can even download the image from Facebook, I believe. So you have that, and you can also do this spread for yourself. You can take any oracle deck or decks that you want for the theme lesson guidance, or you can even use a tarot deck for that if you want. You can continue using your main tarot deck for that also, if that's how you like it. Whatever, you can play with it, or you can use three different or you can use two different tarot decks, or you can just pull three cards. If you're just using one tarot deck, you don't have to do the Lenormand. There's a lot of variations. You can just play with this, right? You can totally go wild. So, I hope you've liked this video, and I would really, really, really enjoy hearing your thoughts, your ideas, if you've tried this spread, how you tried it, and talk to me about it. Tell me what you felt, and how it made sense to you, and so on and so forth. Okay. And I will, it's amazing. Like, sometimes people see the spread videos and like, how do you do this? And I like making videos like that. So thank you so much for encouraging me to do these lovely videos for you guys. And thank you also for taking the time to watch my videos. If you have liked it, please like this video. It really encourages me to make more videos. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that encourages me too. And let's get that going. And it really, really, really is great to be here on YouTube. And Happy New Year. And I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.